Hi Scorpio, welcome to your May 2020 Astrology 33 reading. Thank you to those of you who have liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you interested in booking a personal reading with me, I'm actually going to be taking a bit of a break from those, but keep an eye out on the community section of the channel as far as any updates there. Or worst case, if it ends up being a longer break by the time I post the June videos, I'll make an update there as far as when I'll pick the personal readings back up. As far as what we have in front of us, we have a Celtic cross spread as always. Pulled a couple of oracle cards for you guys as well, and also a Mudra card. So we'll get started with the main spread first. And in the main situation position, we have the Lovers. This is actually the major arcana card for Gemini, and there's going to be quite a bit of energy going on in Gemini in May. We already have Venus there. It's actually going to go retrograde in May, and Mercury will be there. Of course, the sun will get there towards the end of the month, so there's definitely a lot of Gemini energy at play this month, and that could be where a lot of your focus is going to be, because for you guys, Gemini is your 8th house, and you guys are the natural rulers of the 8th house, so in that regard, it's actually a comfortable energy for you guys, even though you wouldn't think so on the surface. So that could be what's at play there. Now, if we want to look just beyond the Gemini aspect of it as well, this could just be saying that maybe there's a shift in focus for you guys towards more of your love relationships. And that could be at play too, because, I mean, obviously there's a lot of 8th house energy at play like we discussed. Obviously, we're going to be in Taurus season. We just started Taurus season at the time I'm recording this a couple days ago. So, I mean, that's your 7th house of relationships, and you're going to have a full moon in your sign. That's going to be trine Neptune in your 5th house of love and romance, and Mars is going to be moving into your 5th house as well. So there's a lot of energy supporting that, yeah, your mind might be on love for a lot of you this month. And maybe this is actually just saying that now you might have a little bit of time to focus on that, because I'm getting this vibe that a lot of you might have been really focused on career and finances recently. All right, the challenger obstacle position, we have the sun. So on the surface, this doesn't seem like a bad challenge card. I mean, the sun is a pretty good card no matter how you get it, especially when it's in the upright. But for this to come up in the challenger obstacle position, I do have to say, in the most basic sense, what this could be saying is be mindful at the very least that there is the potential for a pregnancy this month. So if that's not something that you're looking for, just be mindful that that is at play here. Whereas if it is, maybe that's going to be some good news for you guys. And on another note, this could just be saying that maybe for some of you, the challenge for your love life is maybe you have been in a bit of an all work, no play type of mode lately. And maybe that's what it's saying as far as, maybe now you're finally able to get back in touch with that side. Maybe, for example, you guys have just been really tied up with work, and maybe things are letting up for you guys, maybe even with that full moon in your sign, which will be right at the end of the first week of May. Maybe you guys have some deadline that you're working towards, for example, and maybe once that wraps up, you actually get some time to focus more on your relationships. And I do have to say, another way this could be playing out for some of you too could just be saying that the challenge for you having progress in your love lives, where maybe some of you might be having some bit of a struggle in that area, could be to cut loose and have a little bit of fun. Maybe it's like you guys have been approaching it from a bit too serious of an angle, and maybe that's been what's holding you back a little bit when it comes to that area of life. All right, in the foundation position, we have the Temperance card. So this represents balance. This is actually the major arcana card of Sagittarius, and given that that is your 2nd house of finances, that could be pointing out to what I was seeing for some of you. Maybe, like I said, you guys, for whatever reason, you were just really focused and driven towards working on your finances. Maybe now that you've actually gotten some progress there, now it's allowing you to let go a little bit and actually cut loose, have a little bit more fun. And this could just be saying that if this is a connection, maybe this is just saying that maybe there's been some harmony restored between you and this person. If this is a connection that's been ongoing, but maybe you guys haven't, maybe been going through a bit of a rough patch, for example. Maybe this is saying that the energies at play now are actually letting you guys get back on good terms with each other. In the past position, we have the Queen of Pentacles. So this is another thing that I could see two ways. One way could be pointing to, of course, the fact that obviously there's the clear indicator of this is Capricorn energy. So obviously, again, this could just be saying that maybe your focus in the past has definitely been on your finances and you haven't really been given any attention to your love lives, especially if we look at the fact that if we put that back in the spread, she has her back turned to the Lover's card, right? So it could just be saying that, you've just had such a heavy focus. I mean, she's even looking down at that pentacle. So it could just be saying that your focus might have been so heavily on your finances lately that you hadn't been able to really put any focus towards your love relationships. And another way this could be coming across too, though, is given that for you guys, Capricorn is your third house of communication, this could just be saying that you guys might have been very closed and blocked off when it came to communication. And that could have been, preventing things from moving forward as well. And if that's the case, I mean, we've talked about it in previous months with you guys. You've had a lot of karmic energy in your third house communication. You still have Pluto there, obviously, which is your ruler. Jupiter's there. South Node's on its way out, actually moving into Sagittarius, finally. And then also we had Saturn there for quite a long time. It recently moved into Aquarius. It's eventually going to move back into Capricorn for a little bit later this year. But yeah, maybe it's even just saying that once Saturn left your third house communication, maybe it allowed you to be a little bit more light and feel a little bit more playful around communication. And maybe that's what's getting things moving forward for you guys. But regardless of what combination of things it could be, in the present position we do see the Chariot, so it definitely represents movement. This is actually Cancer energy. The North Node has been moving through that sign, so there's definitely some significance there. But yeah, this could just be pointing to forward movement for you guys. Also, this is a card that points to victory. Now, this can point to travel. I know travel is a bit iffy for a lot of people in all over the world right now, quite frankly. So I don't know if this is a clear indicator that you guys will be able to travel anywhere long distance anytime soon. But here I'm seeing this more of a symbolic way where you finally, again, maybe you had some goals you set for yourselves, you're really focused on around finances. Maybe you finally reached that goal and now you're actually moving forward. The Sun card in the challenge position in that regard could even represent maybe you weren't getting recognition for the work you were doing for a long time, and maybe you're really just plugging away, and now maybe finally this is saying you actually get some recognition for the work you've put in. But yeah, either way, this definitely represents forward movement and definitely a positive card to have overall. And I will say that this is Cancer energy, and we do still have Mars currently in your fourth house as well. So that could be what this is pointing to also. Because the Chariot does have a bit of a Mars vibe to it if you really think about it, with the movement. And speaking of Mars vibes, in the near future position we have the Queen of Wands. And this is actually the court card for Aries. And there's not really anything going on in Aries now. So I don't necessarily think it's pointing to that. But what I do think this is pointing more to is what I was saying earlier, is the fact that Mars is going to be moving into your fifth house around the middle of the month. And that could be what's actually moving you towards taking action. And for a lot of you, like I said, I do feel like this is going to be related to romance for a lot of you. So it could just be saying that now, I mean, look at the difference, right? In the past, we had the Queen of Pentacles. Now, in the near future, we had the Queen of Wands. Here, we see that focus on the finances, and then Queen of Wands is about taking action. And she's looking forward, whereas the Queen of Pentacles was looking back. So, looks like you guys are definitely ready to move forward in some way. Alright, in your influence on the situation, we have the Death card. So this is actually the major arcana card for your sign. And especially given that there is that full moon in your sign this month, I feel like this is just saying that you're wrapping something up. You're wrapping something up, you're moving forward. Like I said, it could just be a shift from where you maybe had some financial goals you really were set on. You might have reached them recently, and now you're actually able to move forward. But if nothing else, at the very least, it says that you're going to be feeling comfortable in your own skin, in your own energy, and that's obviously a good thing. Like I said, all that energy moving through your 8th house might be contributing to that as well, but that's what I'm seeing there. And the environment position, we have the 10 of Wands. So this is another indicator of something coming to an end, almost reaching that goal, right? And given that this is Sagittarius energy again, your second house of finances, I think that this is just saying that whatever this is, you know, it really looks like it was something that you were supposed to be doing anyway, especially given all the major arcana cards that we see here. So whatever, if you were heavily focused on finances, it looks like it was really just what your focus was meant to be for the time being. But here we see that it looks like, again, another indicator that you're coming to an end with something and being able to move forward in definitely a positive way. And then also at the bottom of the deck, we had the Ten of Swords. So another indicator that you're getting to the end of a cycle somewhere. In the hopes or fears position, we have the Knight of Pentacles. So I doubt this is a fear for any of you. It's not really a negative card. So if we look at this from more of the hope side, this could just be saying that, again, maybe you guys are really working hard in hopes of getting some recognition within your career, maybe for a pay raise or promotion. And if that's the case with the Chariot there, I do see that there's definitely some indicators that that could be how it's playing out for you guys. For others of you, this could just be saying that you're hoping for some stability as well, and maybe making an offer to someone. I do always point out that even though there is an offer being made, this is the slowest moving knight. And then also, we have to keep in mind that all the knights have armor on, right? So even if there is an offer being made, there's still that energy of being a bit guarded. So that's what I'm seeing there. And then in the outcome position, we have the High Priestess. So normally I do view this as Pisces energy, and I will say for you guys, especially given that you're going to have that full moon this month, your intuitive energies might be even higher than they normally are, which they're normally pretty high as is. But that full moon is also going to be trine Neptune in Pisces, so it might really give you some ideas. So it might give a spark to your creativity. Like I said, we're also going to have Mars moving into that sign as well. So a lot of Piscean vibes in that regard. And maybe that's even what helps you move forward as well. Maybe this could be saying that this could be some creative project, maybe something you've been working on for a long time, and maybe that light bulb finally turns on where you realize, okay, now I know I want to move forward with this project, and it brings you some success in that regard. I do have to say, for some of you, this can represent you actually shutting yourselves off a bit and being a bit more reserved and quiet, but I don't necessarily see that as likely. It can definitely be the case for some of you, since we do see the sun in the challenge position, where, like I said, for some of you, that could just be saying that that might be the challenge and the block to that lover's energy, is that you guys, might be a bit reclusive right now, which, I mean, that could be the case. A lot of people are stuck inside, right? So, but yeah, for the majority of you, I don't think that that's really how it's going to play out. I feel like it's more just pointing to you being very intuitive this month, and I see you actually being more willing to take action this month more than anything. Moving on to your oracle cards. First, we have Flexible. There's the artwork for it, and the number is 19. So we'll see what that has to say. Okay, it says teachability, open-mindedness, being adaptable without compromising what's most important. The oracle's message: a tree's roots are solidly planted in the ground, yet its branches can bend in a hurricane, whereas a rigid structure, like a building, would come crashing down. Consider how the tree remains supple and secure when everything around it may be in shambles. This is how you need to be now, willing to learn new things, teachable, malleable, yet firmly grounded in who you are. Common sense is important, but so is an open mind. Stay curious, stay open, stay aware. At this time, others will be more flexible with you too. So definitely an interesting message there, as far as, it said, yet remain firmly grounded in who you are. Obviously, we see that with the Death card there. But maybe that other part of it where it was saying, that flexibility, that could be what that Sun card in the challenge position is pointing to as well, right? Where, you should remain a bit open. And yeah, maybe it's symbolic that I can't pick up that freaking card for some reason right now, but there you go. Hopefully that resonated with you guys. Okay, the relationship message says in every relationship, it's important to be open to new experiences and learning new things. Letting go of rigidity is what's required right now. You don't always have to be right all the time, do you? It's okay to come to a happy compromise. You can still get your needs met. It's a beautiful day when you meet halfway. The appearance of this card in a reading could also signal that you have met someone new who may not be your type, but who will turn out to be so special that you can easily release your old ideas about what sort of partner is right for you. Be flexible. You'll be happy you made that choice. So an interesting message there too, because going back to that Sun card, again, if I could pick it up this time, let's try that. All right, there we go. With this in the challenger position too, I do have to say that for some of you, this could even just be saying that a connection that you might be in, maybe the block to it has been ego, and not necessarily just from you, maybe possibly from both of your sides. And then that's what the Ten of Wands might represent there too, where you guys both decide to leave that petty ego stuff behind, and it actually gets you guys some forward movement with the Chariot there. And maybe with the Temperance card there, given that the Venus retrograde will be in your 8th house, which again is the house that you guys naturally rule, and plus that full moon taking place in your sign, maybe the energetic, the astrological energy at play this month might be what finally helps both of you guys move past that blockage. Okay, and the prosperity message says, even when you have a clear vision of how you're going to manifest something, what it will look like, who will share in it, and what will then be available to you, you still need to relax and open up to other possibilities. Spirit may have much better plans for you. It could be a job you hadn't thought of, a new source of money, or some other opportunity that eluded your imagination. Be flexible and remind yourself, this or something better manifests for me now. Then be willing to bend a little. Enjoy the miraculous results. So that was an interesting message there, as far as it said it could be a job you hadn't thought of. As far as an opportunity that eluded your imagination, that makes me think of the High Priestess. And with the Sun in the challenge position, the Sun is also an indicator of creativity. So maybe that's saying that some kind of blockage will clear up for you guys in that regard too. And if that's the case, like I said, definitely watch out for that full moon. Maybe that gives you guys that little creative spark that you were lacking, if that's the case. All right. Next we have Owl Spirit. It says, you see clearly now. There's the artwork, and the number is 43. Okay, it says, Owl Spirit arrives to remind you that the wisdom within you is informed by your keen senses and the wisdom within the consciousness we all share. Even in the darkest night, the owl sees clearly and is guided by every sense it has, including the first sense of intuition. Right now, your sensitivities are turbocharged, and you are receiving messages from all directions. Owl Spirit reminds you to be wise and pay attention to what's between the lines, what is invisible to the naked eye, what cannot be heard with the ears, and what others may not be able to perceive. With all your senses aroused, you have much knowledge available to you. Clarity will come as you sit with all you are sensing, allowing your intuition to guide you in understanding the whole and not just the parts. Let your wisdom arise and be your guide as you trust the acuity of all your senses. Intuition is real and can provide you the clarity you need to understand your situation right now. Your relationship, your finances, your job, whatever it is, you can see the truth clearly now. So definitely a good message there, and obviously with the Death card, like I said, that is the major arcana card for your sign, so for that to pop up in your influence, that's definitely a positive thing. And then the High Priestess is a very intuitive card as well. Like we said, there's going to be that connection with the full moon in your sign to Neptune and Pisces, so guys should definitely be alert and paying attention to your intuition this month. Alright, last thing we have is Mudra card, and the Mudra that you guys got is the Mritsamjivani Mudra. Keyword for it is restoration. Okay, let's see if we can get that to focus. Yep, there we go. So if you guys wanted to pause it or take a screenshot to read what it has to say, you can. But under benefits, it says strengthens the heart and pericardium, regulates blood pressure, improves circulation and health of arteries and veins, awakens the spirit of self-care and self-reflection, serves as a reminder to slow down and nurture body, mind, and spirit. So if that sounds like something you think would be beneficial for you guys, I will put the name of the Mudra in the description of the video as always. We'll wrap up there, and I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.